This week's episode is about Epiphany. I'm Rachael Keefe, and this is Monday's Muse. So yesterday we celebrated Epiphany. It is the official end of the Christmas season, and it is also the beginning of its very own season, Epiphany. It is the time when we are to be seeking and open to the revelation of God's power and presence in the world today. The story of the Magi is the traditional Epiphany story. We know that the Magi come from far away. Traditionally, we say there were 3 of them, but we honestly don't know. The 3 is based on gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They came from wherever far distant land they came, and we know their journey was probably difficult and challenging, but they persisted. And as the story goes, they followed the star until they came to Bethlehem, and then they encountered Herod, who tried to convince them to come back and tell him where the child was. So they went and they saw Jesus, and when they encountered Jesus, they were filled with overwhelming joy. And they gave their gifts, and then they were prompted in a dream to go home by another way. This story is a great example for how we should be open to seeking God's power and presence in our own lives. Because the Magi, they journeyed from far away. And sometimes we journey from far away into God's presence because we have gotten distance from God and what God wants for us in our lives. So that journey back to God's presence is often difficult for us. And then when we encounter God, we can be filled with this overwhelming joy, this sense that things can improve in our lives. There's a sense of healing, perhaps of wholeness. And then we move from that place out into the world in a different way. This is the gift of the Epiphany season, to remind us to seek out God's presence, to be open to that overwhelming joy, and to know that there is no promise that the journey will be easy, either before the encounter or after. Simply that God is with us, guiding us. So I would encourage you to think about something that will guide your prayers, guide your spiritual journey in not just the season of Epiphany, but perhaps in the year to come. Think of a word. A lot of pastors give out these words to people, but I like people to choose their own word. Who am I to tell you what you might need in your spiritual journey? Think of a word that can guide you. Perhaps you need more hope. Perhaps you need more trust, health, healing, wholeness, beauty, wonder. Any word that will keep you focused on seeking God's presence in your life. So may your Epiphany journey be blessed. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.